Bamidbar, or Numbers 11 through 13. And it came to be when the people were as complainers, it was evil in the ears of YHVH, and YHVH heard it, and his displeasure burned. And the fire of YHVH burned among them and consumed those in the outskirts of the camp. And the people cried out to Moshe, and Moshe prayed to YHVH, and the fire died down. Then he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of YHVH had burned among them. And the mixed multitude who were in their midst lusted greatly. So the children of Israel also wept again and said, "Who's giving us meat to eat?" Oh, you remember the fish which we ate without cost in Mitsrayim, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our being is dried up. There's naught to look at but this manna. Now the manna was like coriander seed, its appearance like the appearance of bdellium. And the people went about and gathered it, ground it on millstones, or beat it in mortar, and cooked it in a pot, and made cakes of it. And its taste was as the taste of cakes baked with oil. And when the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna fell on it. And Moshe heard the people weeping throughout their clans, each man at the door of his tent, and the displeasure of YHVH burned exceedingly. And in the eyes of Moshe it was evil. So Moshe said to YHVH, "Why have you done evil to your servant? Why have I not found favor in your eyes to put the burden of all these people on me? Was it I who conceived all these people? Was it I who brought them forth, that you should say to me, 'Carry them in your bosom, as the foster father carries a nursing child, to the land which you swore to their fathers'? Where am I to get meat to give all these people? For they weep before me, saying, 'Give us meat to eat.' I'm unable to bear all these people alone because the burden is too heavy for me. And if you're doing this to me, kill me. Please kill me if I've found favor in your eyes, and let me not see my evil." Then YHVH said to Moshe, "Gather me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of appointment, and let them stand there with you. I shall come down and speak with you there, and shall take of the Spirit that is on you, and put it on them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with you, so that you do not bear it yourself alone. And say to the people, 'Set yourselves apart for tomorrow, and you shall eat meat, because you've wept in the hearing of YHVH, saying, Who's giving us meat to eat? For it was well with us in Mitsrayim.' And YHVH shall give you meat, and you shall eat. You're not going to eat not 1 day, not 2 days, not 5, nor 10, nor 20 days, but for a new moon of days, until it comes out of your nostrils and becomes an abomination to you, because you've rejected YHVH, who is among you, and wept before him, saying, 'Why did we come up out of Mitsrayim?' And Moshe said, 'The people in whose midst I am are 600,000 men on foot, and you have said, I give them meat to eat for a new moon of days? Could flocks and herds be slain for them to be sufficient for them? Or could all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to be sufficient for them?' And YHVH said to Moshe, 'Is the arm of YHVH too short? Now see whether my word meets you or not.' And Moshe went out and spoke to the people the words of YHVH, and he gathered the 70 men of the elders of the people, placed them around the tent, And YHVH came down in the cloud and spoke to him, and took of the Spirit that was upon him, and placed the same on the 70 elders. And it came to be, when the Spirit rested upon them, that they prophesied, but did not continue. However, 2 men remained in the camp. The name of one was Eldad, and the name of the other Medad. And the Spirit rested upon them. Now, they were among those listed, but they did not go out to the tent, and they prophesied in the camp. And a young man ran and informed Moshe and said, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp. And Yehoshua, son of Nun, Moshe's assistant from his youth, answered and said, Moshe, my master, forbid them. Then Moshe said to him, Are you jealous for my sake? Oh, that all the people of YHVH were prophets, that YHVH would put his Spirit on them. And Moshe returned to the camp, both he and the elders of Israel. And a wind went forth from YHVH, and it brought quail from the sea, and let them fall beside the camp, about a day's journey on this side, about a day's journey on the other side, all around the camp, and about 2 cubits above the surface of the ground. And the people were up all that day and all that night and all the next day and gathered the quail. He who had least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them out for themselves all around the camp. The meat was still between their teeth before it was chewed, and the wrath of YHVH burned against the people. And YHVH struck the people with an exceeding great plague. Then he called the name of that place Kibroth Hada'awah, because there they buried the people who had lusted. From Kibroth Hada'awah, the people set out for Hatzeroth, and they were at Hatzeroth. Numbers 12. Now Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moshe because of the Cushite woman whom he had taken, for he had taken a Cushite woman. And they said, Has YHVH spoken only through Moshe? Has he not also spoken through us? And YHVH heard it. And the man Moshe was very humble, more than all men who were on the face of the earth. And suddenly YHVH said to Moshe and Aaron and Miriam, You 3 come out to the tent of appointment. So the 3 came out. And YHVH came down in the column of cloud and stood in the door of the tent and called Aaron and Miriam. They both went forward. And he said, Hear now my words. If your prophet is of YHVH, I make myself known to him in a vision, and I speak to him in a dream. Not so with my servant Moshe. He's trustworthy in all my house. I speak with him mouth to mouth, and plainly, and not in riddles. And he sees the form of YHVH. So, why were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moshe? And the displeasure of YHVH burned against them, and he left. And the cloud turned away from above the tent, and look, Miriam was leprous, as white as snow. And Aaron turned toward Miriam, and look, a leper. And Aaron said to Moshe, Oh, my master, please do not hold against us this sin in which we've done foolishly and in which we've sinned. Please do not let her be as one dead when coming out of his mother's womb, with his flesh half consumed. And Moshe cried out to YHVH, saying, Oh, El, please heal her, please. And YHVH said to Moshe, if her father had but spit in her face, would she not be ashamed 7 days? Let her be shut out of the camp 7 days, and after that let her be readmitted. And Miriam was shut out of the camp 7 days, and the people did not set out until Miriam was readmitted. And afterward the people departed from Hatzeroth, and they camped in the wilderness of Paran. Chapter 13. And YHVH spoke to Moshe, saying, send men to spy out the land of Canaan, which I'm giving to the children of Israel. Send 1 man from each tribe of their fathers, everyone a leader among them. And by the mouth of YHVH, Moshe sent them from the wilderness of Paran, all of them men who were heads of the children of Israel. And these were their names from the tribe of Reuben: Shammua, son of Zachar. From the tribe of Shimon, Shaphat, son of Hori. From the tribe of Yehudah, Caleb, son of Jephunneh. From the tribe of Issachar, Yagal, son of Yosef. From the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, son of Nun. From the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, son of Raphu. From the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel, son of Sodi. From the tribe of Yosef, from the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, son of Susi. From the tribe of Dan, Amiel, son of Gamali. From the tribe of Asher, Shether, son of Mikael. From the tribe of Naphtali, Nachbi, son of Wapsi. From the tribe of Gad, Guel, son of Maki. These are the names of the men whom Moshe sent to spy out the land, and Moshe called Hoshea, the son of Nun, Yehoshua. And Moshe sent them to spy out the land of Canaan, and said to them, go up here into the south, and go up to the mountains, and see what the land is like, and the people who dwell in it, whether strong or weak, whether few or many, and whether the land they dwell in is good or evil, whether the cities they inhabit are in camps or strongholds, whether the land is rich or poor, and whether there are forests there or not. And you shall be strong and bring some of the fruit of the land. Now the time was the season of first fruits of grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Sin as far as Rehob, near the entrance of Hamath. And they went up through the south and came to Hebron. And Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmai, the descendants of Anak, were there. Now Hebron had been built 7 years before Zoan in Mitsrayim. And they came to the Wadi Eshcol, and cut down from there a branch with 1 cluster of grapes, and they bore it between the 2 of them on a pole, also of pomegranates and of figs. That place was called the Wadi Eshcol because of the cluster which the men of Israel cut down from there. And they returned from spying out the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Moshe and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. And they brought back word to them and all the congregation, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they reported to him and said, we went to the land you sent us, and truly it flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. But the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are walled, very great. And we saw the descendants of Anak there too. The Amalekites dwell in the land of the south, while the Hittites and the Jebusites and the Amorites dwell in the mountains. And The Canaanites dwell by the sea and along the banks of the Jordan. And Caleb silenced the people before Moshe and said, "Let us go up at once and take possession, for we are certainly able to overcome it." But the men who had gone up with him said, "We're not able to go up against the people. They're stronger than we." They gave the children of Israel an evil report of the land which they spied out, saying, "The land which we have gone as spies is a land eating up its inhabitants, and all the people who we saw in it are men of great size. And we saw there the Nephilim, sons of Anak of the Nephilim, and we were like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and so we were in their eyes."